Right now at 6, data center scrutiny across the DMV, a major Q&A happening right now in Prince William County.
Dominion Energy taking questions from people frustrated about a controversial power line project that would power those sites.
And Fox 5's Sydney Persing is live at Patriot High School in Nokesville, where people in that community are ready to push back tonight. Sid?
Yeah, that's underway right now. Dominion Energy actually opened its doors to that open house about 30 minutes ago. But as you should see behind me, and I'll step out of the way, there are dozens of residents out here in the parking lot for really a mix of a news conference and a protest. You should be able to see some of their signs, bury the lines, save our rural land. You might even see some tractors. We've got a ton of folks who own farms out in Prince William County. You're going to hear about more of that in just a moment. But first, I know we talk a lot about different data center projects all across the DMV. Here is the latest on this one. Dominion is working on a project to connect a substation in Nokesville to a new Bristow switching station. Dominion says it needs 6.5 miles of 230 kilovolt lines to maintain reliable service and meet national reliability standards. But as you can see, there has been a lot of pushback. Earlier this month, the Prince William County Board of Supervisors passed a resolution to not support two of the proposed routes, which would have run through the Braemar community. Although, of course, other routes will carry their own impact. So now Dominion says it's willing to talk about a study to consider undergrounding these lines. That is something we have heard demand from this community for a while, including here tonight at this news conference. We're expecting to hear more about it at this open house as well. Though, of course, that remains just a possibility. It is not something Dominion has committed to doing. I just spoke with Helen Taylor. She's a farm owner. She has a farm about a mile and a half down the road from here. She's owned it about the last 40 years. And she told me one of the proposed lines would go right through her hayfield, right next to her pond. And if the lines are built there and overground, she said it would cripple her business.
It will shut us down, period. It will shut us down. That we need good information. I'm hoping to get that tonight, but primarily it is not above the ground, under the ground.
Now, just to be crystal clear here, this is not a meeting where anything is expected to be voted on or finalized. That is way down the road. Dominion says this is an opportunity, again, to answer some of these folks' questions. And of the people out here who I've spoken to, most of them say they do plan to go inside and speak with Dominion representatives. Not sure if the mic will pick it up, but you can hear them chanting right now. A lot of passionate protest out here, Kenneth and Angie. We will continue to follow it throughout the evening.
We hear them, we hear you, and we'll have much more tonight at 10 and 11. All right. And meantime, Loudoun County leaders are taking steps to pause new data center development. They're working to create a plan that would temporarily halt applications, site plans, and related electrical substations. That's until new zoning laws can be put in place. The Board of Supervisors is expected to vote on the plan at a September meeting. And in Prince George's County, leaders there reviewed data center zoning legislation today. The council is also considering new rules that could allow data center developments in some residential and agricultural areas. The proposal comes weeks after council passed a 2-year data center moratorium. A final vote is expected soon.
President Trump expanding a voluntary pledge today aimed at shielding families from rising electricity bills driven by data centers. Nearly 200 utility companies, tech firms, and governors joined that agreement. It's aimed at protecting consumers from footing the cost of the AI boom, but does not include any concrete requirements.
With the Ratepayer Protection Pledge, we're creating a fair deal for everybody. This is how we'll grow our economy, lower the cost of living, protect American consumers, and lead the world in AI and high tech, all at the same time. We want to lead the world.
No Democrats signed the document, and 3 of the nation's 26 Republican governors have not either.
A check of some of the other top stories we're following tonight. A D.C. firefighter is in the hospital after being hit by a ladder truck just before 2 this afternoon on Galveston Street in Southwest. The first responder was hit while responding to a house fire. Officials say they were flown to the hospital with serious injuries. A 6-year-old boy who nearly drowned at a D.C. summer camp remains in the ICU tonight. The family of Adonis Jackson saying today they are cooperating with investigators and are committed to seeking justice for him. Jackson was found at the bottom of a pool on UDC's campus. The lifeguard on duty was on a lunch break, even though nearly 30 children were in the water.
And turning now to our weather. A live look outside for you at the Stacks DC from our Fox 5 Skycam. A glorious, beautiful Thursday out there, no doubt.
Angie, Caitlin, Roth, this is the day that we should all be thinking about in December, February.
Right.
Like this
Our happy spot.
was
right?
really perfect, wasn't it?
This is the type of day that just like doesn't happen frequently enough around here
Right.
in any season. Truly magical to step outside in such beautiful weather.
And it's not fleeting, which is nice.
I know. We actually get a couple more days because you're right. So many times you get like one nice day and then 6 lousy ones in a row. So
It's Leo season, you know.
Oh, did that just begin?
Rawr.
Oh, right. I know a Leo or two. Are they known for their feistiness?
We sure are.
Okay, thought so. 83 was the high temperature in Washington. That below our climatological average of 90. We average highs around 90 most of July, so we are at our peak in terms of heat and humidity, and it was so nice to really have this refreshing change. 80 degrees at Dulles and BWI. That's it for their high temperatures. And we all started the morning in the 60s. We'll do that again tomorrow. In fact, a lot of places will be in the 50s. Right now, we're in the upper 70s and low 80s. It's a lovely evening thanks to these dew points down in the 40s and 50s. I mean, 40s, even 39 in Hagerstown. These are like fall dew points. I mean, not something that you normally see around here. So thank you, Canadian High Pressure, for delivering us this beautiful, cooler than normal and comfortable air mass without the wildfire smoke. So they're holding that haze, thank goodness. Satellite and radar shows cloud cover well to our south as that front finally cleared the area late last night. 66 is the overnight low in the city, but as I said, widespread 50s outside the Beltway. Tomorrow, another beautiful day. Probably more cloud cover in the afternoon, but still very comfortable with those high temperatures in the low to mid 80s. We're going to get a third great day on Saturday. It looks great. By Sunday, a little bit warmer, and you see 90 degrees comes back by Monday, so July will return in earnest. We'll talk more about that coming up in my full 7-day. Kenneth?
All right, Caitlin, see you in a bit. A Northern Virginia Baptist minister is facing serious charges tonight. He's accused of sending explicit photos to a teenager he met after preaching to a Pennsylvania community. Fox 5's Bob Barnard has the details.
The man accused in this case is the pastor here at Crossroads Baptist Church. We've tried to reach out to him today without success so far. This is Pastor Kenny Baldwin preaching in a video posted on the church's YouTube page. The 47-year-old pastor is accused of sending nude photos to a teenage boy in Pennsylvania starting around November of 2024. They reportedly met and exchanged phone numbers when Dr. Baldwin came to the then 15-year-old's church to give a sermon. The teen, now 17, is from York, Pennsylvania. Pastor Baldwin's church is here in Bailey's Crossroads. We've highlighted the two locations on this map. In court documents, the teen told a Pennsylvania state trooper Pastor Baldwin talked to him about masculinity and then sent explicit photos of himself multiple times a week for about a year. Then again, most recently in early June of this year. The trooper says some of those images have been saved as evidence and that Baldwin admitted to state police that he sent 15 images of his privates to the boy.
It's rare to catch a person the first time they're engaged in something like this. So investigation into this person, into their internet activity, there may be other victims of this pastor of doing likewise elsewhere. So this is a serious matter. And should be treated as such.
Pastor Baldwin is facing a number of felony and misdemeanor charges, including unlawful contact with a minor, corruption of minors, and indecent exposure. In a news release, Pennsylvania State Police say they have reason to believe Baldwin shared explicit images with other juveniles. Now, nobody here would speak to us about the case, but in a statement to Fox 5, Crossroads Baptist Church writes, "Please keep our ministry in your prayers as we seek to faithfully follow God's leading. Your prayers mean so much to us." Dr. Baldwin was arraigned in a Pennsylvania courtroom yesterday. He is free until his next court date next month.
New this hour, a 12-year-old girl turns herself in after breaking into the Chick-fil-A on D.C.'s 14th Street Northwest. She is now charged with burglary. The break-in happened last month. A group of girls were caught on camera getting inside and vandalizing the business before running off. 4 other girls are still wanted in this case. Homicide rates in the district, they're on track to hit historic lows not seen since the beginning of the last century. This according to a new report released today by the Council on Criminal Justice. Homicides in the district are down 37% so far this year. Robbery and sexual abuse crimes are also down. Researchers add that they have not found evidence linking D.C.'s decline in violent crime to the deployment of the National Guard.